Let me tell you, the gloves are off, and Samantha Markle is not holding back this time. What she just unleashed is nothing short of a nuclear bomb aimed right at Meghan Markle's carefully polished image, and trust me, this one stings. Picture this. Thomas Markle, Meghan's 79-year-old father, stranded on the 19th floor of a crumbling building in the Philippines. A massive 6.9 earthquake had just ripped through the area. Elevators, dead, aftershocks still rattling the ground, and Thomas, he can't even walk. He's stuck, terrified, clinging to survival in a disaster zone. And guess what? His daughter, the self-branded Humanitarian, is nowhere to be found. Samantha Markle went straight for Meghan's jugular, spitting fire in a way we've never seen before. She accused Meghan of being directly responsible for their father's nightmare. According to Samantha, this wasn't just bad luck or circumstance. Oh no, she insists Meghan's years of cruelty, abandonment, and cold-blooded neglect pushed Thomas into hiding overseas in the first place. And now, fate has trapped him in this nightmare, alone and helpless. And here's the twisted kicker. This all exploded just days before Meghan and Harry are scheduled to sashay into New York to pick up a so-called Humanitarian award. You heard that right? While her father is clinging to life halfway around the world, Meghan's polishing her acceptance speech about compassion and service. Can you imagine the gall? Samantha didn't mince her words. She went on social media and called Meghan disgusting and evil. She demanded answers. Why aren't Meghan and Harry using even a sliver of their bottomless resources to help Thomas? Where's the helicopter? Where's the diplomatic pull they brag about? Where's even a single phone call from Meghan asking, "Dad, are you okay?" The silence is deafening. According to Samantha, if Meghan had treated their father with even a shred of decency, he wouldn't be in the Philippines in the first place. He wouldn't be stuck in a disaster zone. He wouldn't have fled the suffocating spotlight and the endless fake news attacks Samantha swears Meghan orchestrated against him. Instead of being surrounded by family, he's now stranded in a country thousands of miles away, fighting for his life. And the health issues? Oh, Samantha laid those bare too. 2 heart attacks, a stroke, years of declining health. All while Meghan, his own daughter, allegedly ignored him completely. No visits, no phone calls, no check-ins, nothing. And now, even as Thomas faces his most desperate hour, Meghan stays silent. Samantha is calling her out, and this time, the world is listening. But it gets darker. Samantha's fury didn't stop at Meghan's silence. No, she painted a gut-wrenching picture of what Thomas is enduring right now. Stuck with only a friend visiting from the UK, isolated, no rescue teams nearby, just the 3 of them waiting, hoping, praying that the building doesn't collapse beneath their feet. Samantha even described a horrifying last resort plan, placing Thomas on cushions, sliding him onto a shower curtain, and dragging him down 19 flights of stairs. Just thinking about that makes your stomach churn. And here's the chilling part. These buildings in the Philippines, they aren't built like the ones in LA. No fancy earthquake rollers, no disaster-proof foundations. They're fragile, vulnerable, ready to buckle under pressure. The danger is immediate. The fear is real. And Thomas Markle, a frail man who has already suffered a stroke, is the one trapped in the middle of it all. Samantha was shaking with emotion as she laid it all out. She blamed Meghan not just for ignoring their father now, but for driving him away years ago. According to her, Meghan orchestrated a smear campaign that ruined Thomas's reputation. Fake stories, negative press, a deliberate push to erase him from Meghan's royal narrative. The betrayal, Samantha said, was unbearable. Think about this. Thomas Markle, an Emmy-winning lighting director who worked 70-hour weeks to give Meghan everything she ever wanted, ended up humiliated, abandoned, and exiled. The stress crushed him, his health crumbled, his spirit broke. And Samantha says Meghan knew exactly what she was doing. She wanted him erased. And now, as Samantha put it so brutally, Thomas isn't in the Philippines because of an earthquake. He's there because Meghan put him there. That's the truth bomb she dropped, and it's one that could shatter Meghan's whole humanitarian act into dust. And if you think that was shocking, just wait, because Samantha didn't stop at exposing the earthquake horror. She tore the mask right off Meghan's polished public image and exposed what she calls the ultimate hypocrisy. While Thomas is clinging to life in a shaky building in the Philippines, Meghan Markle is reportedly preparing to glide across a red carpet in New York City to accept a humanitarian award. Let that sink in. Her father is trapped, terrified, facing death with every aftershock, and Meghan is rehearsing her compassionate humanitarian speech. The timing isn't just bad, it's grotesque. Samantha slammed the irony as sickening. How can someone who allegedly ignored her own father through 2 heart attacks, a stroke, and now a deadly earthquake stand on a stage and collect applause for caring about humanity? How? The hypocrisy, Samantha said, is staggering, and she's not the only one asking that question. Royal commentators, journalists, even everyday people online, they're piling on, echoing Samantha's fury. Christine Hamilton, blunt as ever, drove the point home during the same interview. She said Meghan has the power to move mountains if she wanted to. She could pick up the phone and get consulates involved. She could call in favors. With Meghan's wealth and influence, even a helicopter rescue isn't impossible. But what has she done? Absolutely nothing. Samantha called it a tragic comedy, Meghan allegedly paying for awards to crown herself a humanitarian while her father dangles on the edge of survival. Samantha spat fire. The priorities could not be more twisted. And this isn't just about one disaster moment. Oh no, Samantha insists this is a pattern. A lifelong betrayal dressed up in PR gloss. Meghan, she argues, has always cared more about her image than the people who sacrificed for her. And Thomas is Exhibit A. Think about it. This man worked himself to the bone, 70 hours a week, winning 3 Emmy Awards. Also, his daughter could have the best. He poured every ounce of sweat and money into giving Meghan opportunities. And how was he repaid? Cast aside like yesterday's trash the moment she married into royalty. Now, with his life literally on the line, she hasn't even sent a text. But Samantha went further. She questioned whether Meghan even has a conscience at all. She compared her sister to Scrooge, except with Meghan, Samantha doubts there'll ever be a change of heart. She called her cold, unfeeling, and fundamentally incapable of compassion. That's not anger talking, that's heartbreak poured out on live television for the world to hear. And let's be clear, Samantha didn't stop at Meghan. She dragged Prince Harry right into the fire too. She asked, where's the honor? Where's the loyalty? Where's the so-called chivalry we expect from a man who once wore a military uniform? Nowhere. Harry, she says, has stood by and let Meghan orchestrate PR smears, let her erase Thomas from the picture, and did absolutely nothing to stop it. That's not strength. That's weakness, Samantha fumed. In fact, she went as far as to call Harry morally spineless. Think about that. She accused him of being complicit in the destruction of Thomas's reputation, complicit in letting Meghan abandon her father, complicit in sitting back while the world painted Thomas as a villain. Samantha's message was crystal clear. Harry's silence is just as damning as Meghan's. And then came the brutal comparison. If Meghan and Harry allegedly mocked Queen Elizabeth in her final battles with bone cancer, if they disrespected Prince Philip, why would anyone be shocked they'd ignore Thomas? Samantha argued this isn't a one-off mistake. It's a pattern. A cold, narcissistic pattern of throwing people aside the moment they're no longer useful. Royal commentators agreed. Christine Hamilton declared Meghan a monster of narcissism if she lets this situation pass without lifting a finger. Even if Meghan has no feelings left for her father, Hamilton argued any PR team worth their salary would be screaming at her to do something. Because ignoring your father's life or death struggle while smiling for cameras at a humanitarian gala, that's a public relations nightmare of epic proportions. Neil Hamilton didn't hold back either. He flat out said he doesn't understand Meghan's humanity, if she even has any left. For her, it's always about the brand, always about the next career move. He insisted. Family, loyalty, compassion, forget it. None of that matters. And Samantha, trembling with rage and heartbreak, drove the knife deeper. She said this isn't neglect anymore. This isn't about grudges or misunderstandings. This is life or death. If Meghan can't even act now, when her father's literally fighting to stay alive, then Samantha believes it proves once and for all that Meghan is exactly who she appears to be. Someone who only cares about herself. But perhaps the most painful part of Samantha's truth bomb? The reminder that Meghan and Thomas weren't always like this. Once, they were incredibly close. He was her rock, her provider, her champion. He paid for her education, celebrated her dreams, and she once praised him publicly as the best father ever. The love was real, the bond was deep, but the moment Harry walked in, everything changed. Suddenly, Thomas became inconvenient. He didn't fit the shiny royal story Meghan was trying to sell, and instead of protecting him, Meghan allegedly erased him. Overnight, he went from being her hero to being cast as a villain. Samantha insists it was calculated, deliberate, cruel, and the damage irreversible. That's why Samantha says this isn't just about an earthquake. This is about betrayal. Years of betrayal. A father who gave everything, only to be discarded when he didn't fit the narrative. And now, in his darkest hour, silence. Nothing but silence from the daughter who owes him everything.